So, in case you didn't know, a few days ago, Ajaw released, and that's wonderful because he's absolutely magnificent. But for some reason, he came attached to this dude named Kinich. I don't understand why. In seriousness, Ajaw it's you can summon a big dragon laser in the sky. You know, it's weird and pixelated, and they didn't really explain why it looks pixelated in this fantasy video game, but you know, summoning a dragon and lasers of grass, green lasers, yay, like that's cool. So I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Today we're gonna use the Scroll of Heroes Cinder City, which, you know, I think a lot of people are misunderstanding how this set works. But yeah, we're gonna do support Kinich, burst support Kinich specifically. Now my Kinich is certainly not maxed out. For the purposes of what we're testing today, it's really not that important. Kinich can get some meaningful damage from his burst. We're not going to get that because what we're testing is his supportive buffing utility, not, you know, how much damage can he get from his burst. Realistically, the multiplier value of his burst is similar to one of his big cannon shots. That's kind of all you need to be concerned about. And when we're doing this burst DPS playstyle, to get energy particles from Kinich, we still have to get at least one of his big cannon shots out. So I have focused him down towards just, you know, supportive energy utility. He should always get his burst back without a problem at all, right? But yeah, so this artifact set, the wall of text is that whatever reactions that the user of this artifact set triggers, for the elemental types involved in that reaction, damage bonus will be given to all party members for either 15 to 20 seconds, depending on, for some reason there's two separate durations for different portions for whatever. It's damage bonus, right? Now, there are only 3 Dendro reactions in the game, by the way. So there's the Dendro and Pyro, creates burning, so that means we can get Dendro and Pyro damage bonus. There is Dendro and Hydro, so we can get Hydro and Dendro damage bonus. And there's Electro and Dendro, which is Quicken, so we can get Dendro and Electro damage bonus. So what we have to do is we're gonna have to like skill and then burst while we're on field with him. Like it's weird. Okay, so but my point is, like, his supportive utility is not necessarily super high, but it still has some decent potential. Whether or not you should actually do this is something, I don't know, I'll hopefully determine by the end of this video. This is an experimentation messing with how much use could we truly get out of Ajaw rather than Kinich himself. But Kinich could give, you know, damage bonus to your Nahida, could give damage bonus to Emily, can give damage bonus to Mualani. The long-term viability of Kinich, in my mind, is ultimately truly down to how relevant Ajaw is. Because his on-field viability is only as viable as long as you are interested in playing him, because there's lots of options for on-field units. Anyways, let's get into the teams we're going to try. So the first idea is I am going to try with Mualani, so we can get Hydro and Dendro damage bonus, and notably I like to play Mualani with Emily and then Dia. So the ideal here is, you know, we trigger one bloom with Kinich, get Hydro and Dendro damage bonus, and that buffs Emily's damage, and it buffs Mualani's damage, right? Downside, this team has no healer. We're just relying on Dia. Don't worry about it, that's what I say. Dia I am going to put on a supportive build where she can generate these leaves. So with 4-piece instructors, we get 120 EM from it for only 8 seconds, and then we get 120 EM from this if we pick it up with Mualani, which is a pretty significant buff for Mualani. And we're gonna fight the capybara until I get annoyed by it. Alright, so we start with... Oh, don't do that. Can you... Why can't I switch? Oh, Natlan's goofy mechanics. Alright, so we had Hydro on him, then we do this to make sure we get his energy particles, and then we can do Emily, and then we do this, and then we can start doing you. And kablam! There we go, nice 250k. And Mualani's on a 2-piece build. And there we go, and then we can do a third. I think I need to smack this dude with a Dia. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. And then, so yeah, here's the problem where we need to get Hydro on the enemy. Yeah, so subsequent I can't speak. Subsequent rotations are kind of weird, is what I can say. Also gotta not use the WASD key at the wrong time, otherwise it's hard to switch off. I should have, like, probably checked the page here to make sure I was getting the damage bonus. Obviously, I think it expired right now, but yeah, Emily constantly putting Dendro on enemies makes it a lot harder, I'd say, to, well, stop, God, I hate Natlan's auto-switching thing. It completely screws with the ability to test things. Alright, don't do that. Like, he takes a little bit of field time, which makes this really weird to adapt around, right? Alright, now before I do anything, yep, so I have 460 EM, and I have, yep, 86.6% hydro damage bonus, right? So that's from the set of him triggering that. Now, that clunkiness at the beginning of rotation, I think, makes it not the most compelling, realistically, right? And I think we run out of the because of the fact that we have to start the rotation with it. I think we run out of the damage bonus, and I was yapping and did not realize he was doing his jiggle. So yeah, that problem was a problem I expected to have happen. Not the dying, that's just the capybara, but the problem of Emily pooping Dendro on things constantly, right? Making it so that it's hard to get more hydro on them to be able to consistently trigger the blooms. So it doesn't feel like this works quite correctly, but it also depends on how like new enemies are spawning, obviously. Let's go to the Abyss where there is, you know, multiple waves of things happening to try to like illustrate how I think new wave spawning could make it easier to get this consistently. Alright, so multiple enemies here. Theoretically, it should be a bit easier. Yeah, Kinich taking a little bit of field time to get his energy is definitely the most awkward part of this, is what I would say. We'll do this. Some big damage going. Nice, they're just dead. 540k. But yeah, so new enemy spawned right here. Well, he put a pyro shield on himself, so I guess that was a bad example. Hopefully you get the point. You can abuse how new enemies are spawning, particularly in AoE situations, to mitigate, to still be able to consistently get the damage bonus going on Mualani. It's just kind of something weird that you have to think about. I don't know. Is it clunky? Yeah, absolutely. But it still is something fun that I think you can utilize him for, even for Mualani. But let's try to do a different team with this. So I run a weird Raiden build. 4-piece emblem, Staff of Scarlet Sands, C1, but an EM timepiece and an EM goblet with a crit circlet. And the reason for that is so that she can get very meaningful transformer reaction damage, but this weapon is converting EM to attack, so she still has a very meaningful amount of attack after she gets the full buff up, such that she can get very meaningful burst damage at the same time of still getting really good Hyper Bloom damage, for example. We're going to try to use Kinich with her, because, you know, if we trigger Quicken, we can get Electro damage bonus and Dendro damage bonus. You know, we'll test solo Dendro Kinich, I think, with Raiden first, and then we'll test double Dendro as well. Alright, we're going to try something like this. My Elan is C2, so she does do about as much Hydro applications as Xingqiu would. I don't think the extra Hydro application will really matter because of his Dendro application being fairly low. Hello, Mr. Cappy. Alright, do that. And we trigger Quicken. That should give us damage bonus. And we do this. Alright, and then we do this, do this. Alright, do that, and then do this. Nice, that actually was lower damage than I expected. But hey, we're getting actually surprisingly okay Dendro core generation. We of course also knocked him out of the way, but that's kind of whatever. And we can restart. And do that, do that. Oh, I need to walk him. Oh, no, don't. No, I don't. Okay. What happened there was I wanted to not spin to win, and I just wanted to whack him with my Claymore attacks, because that would have broken his poise and made him... I'm going to try this again. Okay, so we trigger Quicken. Do that. Do this. Alright, and then go over here, do this. Where is he? Oh, he's in there. Alright. Do that, and we just to double check, we should have... Yep, 80.7% electro damage bonus. You also see we have 40% Dendro damage bonus. So confirmation that we got all the damage bonus we need. And let's just smack him. And hey, 130k, very nice. Yeah, we're getting, I don't know, we're actually getting more Dendro cores than I kind of expected we would get, to be completely honest. So that's kind of interesting. You know what, let's just... Oops, I was trying to... He's kind of awkward to rotate to a different character with, because if you press W, ASD, right, and start spinning around on him, he starts moving and you can't, like, switch while he's moving. Yeah, 130k damage, not bad at all. It's certainly nothing crazy, honestly, for... Oh, I didn't realize he was... My bad. It certainly wasn't like the highest damage I've seen from Hybrid Raiden, but that's because like this kind of Raiden build has a ton of flexibility for being paired with many different Dendro, Hydro teammates, and then you have a flex slot for pairing with, you know, Bennett. I can throw in Animo units like Kazuha for buffing Raiden, but let's try it with a Farina and Baiju variant. I do have Farina C2, by the way, so I could very much abuse Farina C2 and do like Nahida on Prototype Amber instead of Baiju in order to maximize the strength of this team, but I'm purposely using Baiju here to simulate, you know, a normal C0 Farina, and my Farina's damage is also powered down very significantly. I still feel like the ideal use case for doing this on Kinich is going to be a team where you can take advantage of the Dendro damage bonus on a second Dendro teammate and whatever reaction you're triggering. Baiju, obviously, we don't care about 40% Dendro damage bonus on him. He's healing, but you know, let's just see what happens here. All right, and do that, and do that. I maybe should have done Farina first there. Actually, now I think about it, probably should have done it first. Yeah, because you want normally, particularly with C0 Farina, you'd want to have some drain happening first, but since I have C2 Farina, it doesn't really matter. I can have a skill issue, but I did not see what I don't know if I crit. I might have missed a crit, but we'll do another rotation, I guess. We're getting 30k aggravates on, you know, our charge attacks or normal attacks. It's not bad, not bad. All right. Now I don't know if I actually triggered the damage bonus on Electro there. God dang it! I didn't realize he was doing it again. Frickin' Black Hulk. Okay, I hate the Capybara. Actually, for the purpose of testing, we can just use these bosses. Considering they're more tanky now with world level 9, that shouldn't be that much of a problem. We had our fun with the Capybara this video. It's time to be serious as far as testing goes. As serious as we can be when we're doing something as silly as a how. I don't know what am I doing. I don't need to kill you. Alright, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna start with Farina this time, because I mostly want to see if we even get the damage bonus for Electro. Maybe we'll get the Hydro damage bonus too. Because like if we get Dendro, Hydro, and Electro damage bonus, right? That's pretty compelling, I think. Alright. Alright, so we got Dendro damage bonus. We did not get the Electro damage bonus. Wait, how did we not get Hydro damage bonus? No Hydro bonus, no Electro bonus. How did we trigger a Dendro reaction that didn't give us Hydro or Electro damage bonus in this team? What? Am I not the only one confused by this? How does that make sense? Okay. I guess we'll retry this. I think this artifact set is intended mostly for like 2-element teams, which we'll probably switch to testing in a second here, right? But let's do that. Ow. Taking so much random damage. Alright. We have, there we go, 80.7% Electro damage bonus and 40% Dendro damage bonus. That means we trigger Quicken with Kinich in the Night Soul state. There we go. Alright, and then we do that, and there we go, 100k. A little bit less than we got with Bennett, but also no circle impact, and we also have Farina doing her own damage. Anyways, right, the subsequent rotations, because of the extra Hydro in the mix, it's not like getting Hydro damage would be bad, I guess, because Farina's doing meaningful damage in this context, though. So I think it would be fine. I do think this is like a relevant use case, but still extremely niche considering my Raiden build. So let's go try some like simpler teams where we just don't have to think about the damage bonus we're getting at all, hopefully. And again, like the spice of this is like, what if we're doing off-field burst DPS Kinich, what on-fielder do we use? We're gonna try Arlecchino because we haven't done burning yet, right? And you can obviously do burning with Kinich, especially if you have Emily. It's pretty dang good. But we're gonna do burning with Arlecchino. We're gonna do burning Arlecchino with Emily and Kinich, and you know, get 40% damage bonus for Emily, get 40% damage bonus for Arlecchino. Like Kinich here theoretically should be better than Kachina would be, because Kinich can give damage bonus for Emily. Kachina would be giving damage bonus only to Arlecchino. And we'll throw a beta here. I think how it makes sense to rotate here is Arlecchino into Emily. Alright, and then we'll do Kinich. We'll do that, and then we switch to Bennett E, and we can switch and start schmacking. I should have checked what order. Oh yeah, we definitely... Oh wait, no, we only have 12% Dendro bonus. Okay, we only have 12% pyro damage bonus. Interesting. Why? What? Why? I'm like 90% sure I was in Night Soul state when I did his thing. Maybe that means he didn't trigger... Okay. I expected this to work. We should see 126.6% Dendro damage bonus factoring in Arlecchino's passive and the damage bonus from this. We're gonna do that again. I don't want to have to start the rotation with Arlecchino E into Kinich immediately, because one of the values of doing this, I think, would be the fact that you could have Emily doing damage while Kinich is doing his thing for a short field time, and then you do Arlecchino. I don't know. This is very, very goofy, but we're gonna see if we can actually max out the damage bonus here. So we do that. We do this, right? And then as long as there's pyro on an enemy, we should be able to trigger burning, right? Doing that, and then we'll do this, and we'll do that, and we'll do this. And what do we got? 113. I'm still confused. Why are we only getting 12%? He's triggering burning when he's not in Night Soul state. This is what this is telling me. Maybe it's Emily Burst causing the problem, like the extra Dendro from it. I don't know. But we're still doing perfectly fine damage, to be clear. We still are getting some damage bonus. The doubters are probably already going in the comments calling me crazy for playing in this way, but you know what? It's Mihoyo's fault. They're the one that made Ajaw the better part of Kinich. You know, so blame them, not me. It's just on us to try to find the best way to make use of Ajaw. Okay? Arlecchino, do this, and then do not do Emily Burst, do that. Well, you know what? We're doing burning. I can't English. No, didn't mean to do that. Can I switch my character? Jesus. Alright. We have even less. Wait, did I do my math wrong? Did we have full? But no, it said 12. We didn't get any Dendro damage. Why do I have 101%? Am I forgetting some damage bonus that she gets from something? Oh, it's Bennett C6. I forgot. So in that instance, we got literally nothing. Yay. But one interesting thing I just noticed there is how he can do his Scale Spiker Cannon much quicker here. So he requires much less field time in this context because of the burning happening, getting his points faster, compared to the other teams we were testing, which makes it more compelling potentially if it was actually easy to get the damage bonus. I have one more idea for how to make this one work. I'm gonna do Arlecchino E into this, right? We're in the Night Soul state. We triggered burning. There we go. 40% pyro damage bonus, and we got 40% Dendro damage bonus, right? So now we switch to Emily. We do that, and then we start doing Arlecchino. There we go. Right? Yeah, 141 pyro damage bonus. Okay, that's the way to do it. And the question is, do I still have Kinich energy? I think if this enemy lasted a full rotation, I would have gotten enough energy back on Kinich because we're doing double Dendro, right? I don't have to do the skill on him. It's awkward, to say the least. It's definitely awkward, but getting the damage bonus for Emily and Arlecchino can absolutely work. And yes, you could just do, I don't know, Kazuha in this team instead of Kinich and buff your Arlecchino more than Kinich is buffing, of course. But Kazuha is not giving damage bonus to Emily. So it's not as simple as, oh, just giving Arlecchino more damage is better. It probably is better because Arlecchino does a ridiculous amount of damage. But it works. That's the point, right? There might be scenarios, there might be people's accounts where you have Kinich and you don't have any other relevant last slot when you do an Arlecchino Emily Bennett together, and you can slot in a support set Kinich. It does work. It's weird. All right, there's one more team I want to try, and this is a character that I don't love, but I'll hate them. He's a Dendro on-fielder, so we'll do double Dendro, right? We'll get some Dendro damage bonus going. We shouldn't have to worry about things very much in this team, I think. Usually you just do some Hydro, and then you do some Electro for some blooms, and a little bit of healing, of course, and we should have something good going here. Because of Kinich requiring a little bit of field time, Xingqiu might be better here. Does he have enough energy? Ooh, okay. He just needs to apply Hydro. I mean, he's not going to do that much damage, but it's fine. So we'll start with Xingqiu, do that, do this, do this, and get some energy, there we go. Alright, and I'll hate some things. I'm not going to claim to know how to do proper... I know that wasn't the right time to burst, but whatever. I don't claim to make I'll have them do proper things. I also forgot to check if he actually got the damage bonus. Alrighty, let's do that. I didn't trigger Sack Sword. Okay, well, whatever. Batch. Alright. And can I switch? There we go. Alright. Wait, I forgot. Don't forget to check. We have 115% Dendro damage bonus, and we have some Electro damage bonus, and we have Hydro damage bonus. Interesting. Okay, we got all three there. Huh. I wasn't very certain if you'd be able to maintain 3 different damage bonuses at once, or if it would, like, replace one. So that's interesting, particularly if I was using Yelan here, right? Compared to, you know, my, not great Xingqiu build. But, yeah, I don't know. It definitely works. I think that's for sure. Is it the highest damage output version of an Ahatham team I could have? Probably not. And it might seem very unintuitive to play 2 Dendro on-fielders together, but at the same time, it definitely worked. I think I realized a nuance there that I hadn't realized before, by the way, of most of the time to optimize Kinich's field time with this playstyle, you want to do his skill, do his burst right away, and then when you're in his burst, he will gain points in his burst, right? Because he just gains points passively as you're just grappled. So during his burst animation, he will take off a little bit, right? Which means the ideal thing to do is do this, you know, trigger the fab, do that, and then you have max points. That's the way to minimize Kinich's field time. So I was definitely playing Kinich a little bit improperly through most of this video, and I didn't realize until the very end. Oops. But yeah, that was the main on-field characters that I had an immediate idea for using, you know, support. How supportive damage buffing Kinich with. Is it the most compelling thing in the world? No. But at the same time, it worked mostly as well as I thought it would, with some clunkiness in some cases. It was definitely more clunky than I thought it would be in the Arlecchino team. Is it a recommended way to play it? No. But, you know, you can definitely get some tremendous value. Well, okay, tremendous is not the correct word. But you know what? Look, Ajaw is amazing, okay? You just need to acknowledge this. He's amazing. Admit it. That's the reason you get Kinich. It's not for Kinich, it's for Ajaw, and this is how you maximize Ajaw. And by the way, there is funny, interesting potential of using this artifact set with Kinich on field. Let's say the Pyro Archon does some off-field pyro damage and can trigger Burgeons. And, you know, Kinich triggering both Burning and Burgeons buffs Kinich's damage, buffs the Pyro Archon's damage from off-field, and buffs Farina's damage, right? You can get Hydro, Dendro, and Pyro damage bonus going, theoretically. Maybe it actually makes sense to do on-field Kinich on this set in the future. I don't know. Point is, when you're farming for these artifacts, which are the more obvious, easy-to-use artifacts on him, maybe keep some of these artifacts that have your crit stats and whatever, and I don't know, try it out. Depending on the state of your account, it may be more or less compelling to do this. When you have an invested account, like I do with a lot of different characters and different options for buffing things, Ajaw is definitely not the most relevant buffer in the game, I would say. But it is cool that he has this flexibility, right? And he will be angry if you go into the comments and say that he can't be useful, okay? You're insulting the mighty dragon. This ability to use Kinich's burst to do some supportive value is something that I think makes him more valuable in the long term than someone like Ahatham. Again, in the same vein of he's, you know, only as useful to you for his on-field playstyle as long as you're wanting to play him on-field. So, I don't know. You tell me. Is this compelling? Is turning him into a damage buffer compelling? Now, if we end up getting a Dendro Natling unit that is intended to do this kind of thing from off-field, right? Then that would probably replace any utility of this. Like, imagine if Kachina was a Dendro unit instead of a Geo unit, right? Then, well, Kachina would just be better than Kinich at doing this. But there's a good chance I think we just don't get a Dendro unit in Natlan that can trigger this supportive set. So maybe it's more relevant than you think, is all I can say. But I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun messing around with trying to maximize Ahaw's supportive utility. Anyways, what is, I don't know, subscribe if you want to see upcoming content or whatever from me. And, yeah, I don't know. Kinich's very interesting. He's a weird character. I'm glad they're trying new things with character kits. And I'm definitely glad he has more utility than just being an on-fielder, even if that utility is a bit clunky, to say the least. But how will rule the world one day, so you may as well bow down now.